Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Ainainu Part 9. The series explores the ongoing brachot in Eretz Israel, which all reflect part of Hashem's benevolence to the Jewish people, and in my opinion, all part of the Geula. So this is based on the financial progress that Israel is making, and certain reflection on Israel's state of mind of dealing with crisis, instead of being overwhelmed by it, but simply trying to figure out how to go ahead and make the next step forward. The article by Reuters: Israel ramps up Asia trade ties as government urges shift from EU. This was in February 5th, 2015. Reuters article. Now, what does it say? The Israeli companies are increasingly turning to Asia to capture a boom in demand for their technology as the government urges them to diversify export markets in response to Europe's rising anti-Semitism and potential trade sanctions. So it's basically saying in the article that as the pro-Palestinian boycott, divestment, and sanctions known as BDS, the movement has started to make strides in Europe and is picking up more and more in Holland, Denmark, and other places with looking to end trade with Israel, calling us occupiers, etc., etc. An absolute farce for Europe to go ahead and be criticizing us. And as that's happening, so Israel's moving east. And just some of the quotes are fantastic here in the article. So, for example, another reason to expand to Asia from Europe is not just because Europe is stopping working with us, many of the countries, but is that Europe's economy is struggling, and the euro has weakened, and Asian countries are growing faster. So it's a practical reason also to go over there as well for that. And listen to what it says. Fantastic idea. It might sound like a criticism of Israel, but there's a silver lining. Israel has not expanded into Asia, the article says, because there's requirement for patient diplomacy in many Asian countries, say Israeli businessmen known for their often abrasive manner. So this sounds very critical of Israel, that we're very abrasive and you need to work very slowly and patiently in Asia. As opposed to in Europe, we're able to be more tough and just be straight. That's also, in my opinion, a silver lining, a compliment. The fact is, we're one big family in Eretz Israel, and everyone just talks to each other in a very clear and open manner. An example, you could be walking in the street and you see someone holding their baby, and it's cold out, and one Israeli doesn't think that the other baby is being clothed properly with enough layers. They say, come on, it's cold out, your baby's going to get sick. So people from the outside say, oh, we're so abrasive, it's tough, how do we talk to each other that way? It's one big happy family. We talk to each other that way. And there might be a certain edge sometimes in the Israeli world. It's true. But it comes very often from a good place. So even here, being forced to go to Asia will help the country and the people hone some of their etiquette, some of their skills, and try to talk to different people from different cultures, which is also part of the growth, the emotional, psychological, communicative growth of the people. And here's the article goes on with more details, but the bottom line is, when Israel sees a problem, the Jewish people see a problem, instead of being overwhelmed, instead of hiding face and head in the sand, they simply go ahead and have resolve and move on with another creative approach. And that, to me, all represents the beautiful growth of the state of Israel, of the Jewish people in Israel, and is another part of our bracha during this period of Reshit Smichat Gulateinu Shalom.